Welcome back, all you action figure loving dudes and dudettes. Toyshiz here, and I got a very special look at the brand new Best action figure line by loyal subjects. Thank you to them for sending over a sampling of their new figures. BST AXN, just FYI, best action, best features, best articulation, best assortment. It's kind of like an amalgamation of a bunch of different pop culture brands all mashed into one, and anime will be a part of it, along with music and fantasy like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. And right now we're looking at some anime ones. Kakashi Hatake from Naruto Shippuden, and here's the bio if you want to go ahead and check that out, screen grab it. Incredible sculpt details, multiple accessories, everything is on the box to tell you exactly what you are getting. It even tells you exactly what this does. Bicep swivel, thigh joint, ball joints, maximum posability, get in the pit and play. And then also we have Alphonse Alric, Al, from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I actually know this character. In the show, I think it was either on Adult Swim or Toonami at one point. So I have checked that out, and I know exactly kind of, some better details about this character than I do about Naruto, but you get the same exact type of bio. It actually goes into some detail, gives you an idea of the character, incredible sculpt details, multiple accessories, even though it has two pairs of hands, one of which I've already attached. Here's the barcodes if you want to go and screen grab them. These are due already in stores. I don't know if they've been found just yet, but they will be at Walmart's coming soon for the $15 price point. So really, it's supposed to be the best action, all that under that particular $15 price point. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of anime coffee. This is a look at the brand new Best action figure line, Kakashi Hatake and Alphonse Elric from the loyal subjects. Because I'm a huge packaging nerd, these is what they look like once you yank them out. They come in their own little personal clamshell. There's a lot of space in these boxes, so it gives you hope that they can put more stuff in it. Each comes with a little artwork insert as well as the backdrop of the packaging and what looks like a little sticker that says Best Action. So I like that's a nice little pack-in, and it kind of fills in the space a little bit, but here they all are out of the packaging, and no, that's not a sticker, it's just a piece of paper. Basically, I thought that would have been a cool idea. We'll give you a little Best Action sticker, you can put it places, yada yada. Al, looking all kinds of shiny, and then you have Kakashi looking all kinds of Kakashi. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I am going to purely judge these on the fact of how their articulation is, the paint, everything else, give you an honest review, because I don't collect anime figures, nor do I really watch this particular type of anime. If it comes to Cowboy Bebop, then we can talk. But I'm going to purely judge them on a new type of action figure from the loyal subjects. So we'll look at Kakashi first. And I have to say that in terms of the paint, the deco, everything else going on with him, he looks pretty great. It's a nice little rendition of this particular character. I did look it up, and for what I saw, it looks pretty spot on. I even like the little Uzumaki design right on the back. I can't wait for that horror anime, by the way. Speaking of which, I'm very picky about my animes as an older anime enthusiast, but yeah, he has really nice paint. All the design is there. He doesn't have a whole lot of, let's say, wash or something like that all over him. He's very much in a cartoon simplicity, but he does look good. As far as articulation goes, his head will rock back and forth. You don't get much either the forward or backward direction. Unfortunately, he's a little bit stuck too, so be careful with the joints. He does have butterfly joints at the shoulder. Arms will go up. No bicep swivel. It'll rock back and forth though, as you can see. Single jointed elbows, and his wrists will rock back and forth. Be careful and don't freak out. They did paint the joints for the hands, so when you move the hands, swap them out, you will get paint falling off, just FYI. Little bit of an ab crunch to him, kind of goes back more than it goes forward, and he does have a waist swivel, which actually does work out nice. Legs kick out, they'll kick to the side, you can do the splits. He does have a double jointed knees rocker. He does have a thigh swivel as well, and the feet are nice. They actually go up, down, left, right, and they'll rock to the side. So for this particular $15 price point, I would say that's a fair amount of articulation for this size of figure. Now for the accessories, like I said, just keep in mind you will get paint fleck when you start switching out the hands. But he comes with a number of different hands that all associate with, I'm sure, poses and things that he does in the show. Somebody wants to explain this book for me, please do so in the comments below. But as you can see, it's blank. There's nothing written, no designs, anything else. But you simply just grab this hand. It's got a little slot. You slip the book right in, and it holds it very nicely. It stays stuck in there, which is really nice to see. So that particular hand is mainly for the book. You want to switch out the other one. It kind of has his fingers out. Maybe he's doing a move or anime move or whatever you want to call it. But, bang, bang. People are probably furious in the comments right now, but it's going to be okay. But yeah, simply swap out the hands. It's easy peasy. It all looks good. He also comes with this sort of dagger type weapon. It is painted rather nicely. I got to give it to him on that as well. Get the open weapon holding hand and simply slip it in there. I did notice some paint rubbing when I kind of swapped these out a couple times, mainly on the weapon, so just something to keep in mind. But you can have him pose looking at the book. Maybe it teaches you how to stab people as best based on that cover design. But I have to give it to him. He looks good. He stands well. He looks good. He poses well. You can do a lot of cool poses with him, and I'm happy with how this came out. So I think that anime enthusiasts, Naruto, if you're interested in a new line, in a new anime line, this particular scale, if you got a good stand, I think you're going to have fun with this, and it's going to look good on your shelf. Now let's talk about Alphonse, and being again that I kind of have a little bit more information on him, and there's one little aspect of him that I actually really like that they did this, but his face looks good. The paint is great. Really nice silver paint to him. It really pops. If it was like a chrome, I don't think that would fit too well, but it's a very nice paint, nice silver, nice reflective surface, and he is, again, much like Kakashi, painted very well. I think the main problem people are going to have, though, is with his scale because he is around the size of Kakashi. But here's what I was talking about. So in articulation-wise, his head will rock back and forth, but because he's a disembodied spirit inside a giant suit of armor, it looks like the helmet is floating. So I like that. A little peg is in the back of the helmet. It doesn't give you too much mobility in terms of looking down or up, but it'll look side to side. Plus you got his little side things right there that's going to hinder it. Not a whole lot of articulation in the shoulders. They don't go up. They will simply swivel up. Nothing at the bicep. Unfortunately, he's got double jointed elbows, but they actually work. They give you a nice 90-degree angle. That's nice to see. Swivels at the hands, rotates. Kind of, sort of, an ab crunch. It's kind of there. He more rocks back and forth kind of thing. Underneath his little white drapery right there, you can see that how the joints work. He will swivel at the thigh. He does have double jointed knees, although they are a little bit hindered by the armor. But for the articulation that you can achieve, it's actually pretty good, especially for all the hindrance that you would see from a giant suit of armor. So I will give them that, and he will spin and rotate at the knees as well. And then, of course, you got some really nice ankle rocker, go back, forth, left, right, so you can see the knees right there. So overall, much like Kakashi, not a bad sense of articulation. It's not a whole heck of a lot. I think Kakashi kind of does it a little bit better, but also in terms of swapping out the hands. Now, they didn't paint the joints on this one, so you won't have to worry about any paint fleck. I didn't see any on Al, so that's pretty cool. You can swap them out. You can have the open-handed things. Maybe he's doing his spells or just, I can't wait for the comments on this video. You don't know anything about anime. How dare you? Anyways, this guy looks pretty cool, but I will say in terms of best sculpt, best character selection, all the things that it boasts on the box, scale will be the #1 issue. And I really wish that they would have paid more attention to that. For the $15 price point, you're going to get a nice action figure, especially if you really like these types of properties. But the scaling, if you're hung up on that, I can't recommend them in that sense because scaling is very important to me, and I know Al is supposed to be a huge hulking suit of armor. However, I will recommend them in the sense that, hey, when you find them on the shelf, again, if you like these types of properties, they will be for you. In terms of how they scale with everything else, here's a little McFarlane action and also some Hasbro Marvel Legends. Al is at the 5-inch mark. Kakashi is a little bit taller, almost hitting the 5.5. So depending on which character you get from which corresponding brand, they might differ in terms of the scaling. Here's the Shredder from NECA and He-Man from Mattel. He-Man is at the same price point. I feel like you get better articulation and a more solid figure with the He-Mans. So, when you start boasting, best this, best that, you kind of have to keep in mind there might be other lines doing it, but I get what they're trying to say. They all are taller than the Lego, and yeah, they're a little bit shorter than the actual shorter Transformers Red series. But here they are with some Skeletor and He-Man action from the loyal subjects as well. So they are taller than those. My recommendation is this. If you're a fan of these properties, I think you'll be very happy. If you're into scale, you're probably not going to be. I do wish that I would have been able to compare, let's say, Al and then his brother at the same time, just to give you guys kind of a better idea. If I do see him in the store, I will grab him so we can do that. But I want to say thank you again to the loyal subjects for sending this over to give you guys this fresh look. I think that this is an interesting line. I like when they start incorporating different characters. I will actually be picking up the Cowboy Bebop set that's coming. Gandalf looks interesting. The musical figures, they got like Gene Simmons, they look cool. And I'm interested to see how they'll pair up photo-wise. Make for some fun photos here and there with the other action figures on your shelf. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything the loyal subjects best action. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, for the love of God, somebody tell me what's up with Kakashi's book. Why is the cover like that? And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.